Hold on. Yeah, we're there. Let's do this. All right, guys, we're live. Welcome to Super Bros Podcast, episode 13. My
What's
name
up?
is
What's up?
Candido. I'm joined by Miguel and Jose.
Hey everyone.
Hello, hello.
Sorry about last week. We weren't able to record. We were each doing our own things, but we're back again and we're happy to be with you. So let's update everybody on what's been going on. Anything interesting going on? What's happening?
With our lives, with us.
Yeah, with
Super
us.
Bros. Miguel, you have anything?
Well, the summer is coming to a close.
Yeah.
I went out to the Rockaways with my wife last weekend. So that was really cool. And we hadn't gone out much because of the wedding and stuff. So we hadn't gone out much for stuff like that. So it was really cool, real relaxing day. We stopped at one of the food vendors there, and we had some lobster rolls. Really good time. We even brought Sochi out there. I think you're not supposed to bring dogs, but yeah, it was cool because we were laying out and we didn't bring an umbrella. We figured we'd be able to get an umbrella there, but I guess there were no vendors for that, or like rent an umbrella. But then these ladies, these like old Russian ladies saw us and they were like, "Oh, that's a cute dog. If she wants some shade, you guys can move closer to us." So we kind of moved under some of their they had like a huge tent, and so it worked out. It's cool.
Wow, that's excellent. That's cool. Those lobster rolls, they were slamming or what?
They were slamming, man.
Yeah.
But you know what? They were actually selling what do you call that? It's like a South American.
It's gonna come to you when we're talking about something.
Yeah. You guys go on, and I'll
Ceviche.
No, it's like corn, kind of like a tortilla, but it's arepa.
Choclo.
Okay. Yeah, arepas. They had those, and I'm like, damn.
Right.
So I was kind of conflicted, but
I should have just snatched both, man. Jose, what's up? Jose, what's up, man? Where are you? Where you been?
Okay. I'm in New York right now. So sorry I'm not behind the computer. I'm choppy. I apologize. Welcome to September 1st, right? The beginning of pumpkin season. So it's appropriate that I'm outside of a Starbucks trying to suck in some Wi-Fi.
Nice.
Happy September 1st. I'm here in New York. I'm here working in the city for the next few days. I was just in the DR, the Dominican Republic, for about a week and stuff. So this guy's asking what I'm doing. Oh, it's my coworker from work. I'm doing a podcast. This is fun.
That's too cool.
I'll see you tomorrow. Excellent.
That's too
This
cool.
is so funny. I know. Everyone wants coffee.
Did you have a good trip?
I had a great trip. I had an amazing trip. It was a
How's
resort.
DR?
It was a fantastic resort. So I'm reluctant to say that I saw too much of DR. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I saw a resort, and when you want to go resort, it's like the same everywhere. But it was nice. We did take a few excursions and saw some really nice stuff. We were in Puerto Plata.
Okay.
It was fun, man. It was awesome. We avoided some hurricanes, which were supposed to be there. So it was great. At the end, I was on my first helicopter ride. I don't know if you saw that on my Snapchat.
No, I didn't.
But yeah, it was crazy. So they took us from the hotel or the resort to the airport in a helicopter.
Oh.
So that was surprisingly smooth.
What?
It was nice. It was very cool.
Wait,
I felt
you put it on Snapchat instead of Instagram?
I mean, you're in a
Look at
helicopter.
you.
You can only do so many things. Snapchat is great. Snapchat is really good because you can save things for later because I didn't have like Wi-Fi or anything in the chopper. So I could like record it, and then when I get this connectivity, post it. I don't think you can do that with Instagram. So.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, I had a wonderful time for about a week and stuff. I drove a golf cart around a lot.
Cool.
That was nice. So I'm happy.
Excellent.
I can't say I'm happy to be back, but it's nice because I don't. I look forward to vacationing now. So you're back and like, I can't wait till the next one.
Some adult stuff.
Yeah, man, it's weird. How about you, Dito?
So I finished up my second class of the educational leadership program.
Nice.
I'm on a slight break as we prepare for the beginning of the new school year. So to all students everywhere at all levels of education, good luck to the beginning of your school year.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's what I've been doing. I went into work a few times already, putting away supplies, making some signage, and trying to make sure that I have a nice early, smooth transition into the school year. And that's it.
Look,
Do you have like a syllabus for the next semester, or do you have that all planned out like way in advance, or are you working on that now?
So what I do is I have a list of assignments that I feel have been strong throughout the years that I've been teaching.
Yeah.
And if I felt like they were successful projects, I'll keep them. And then the ones that weren't so successful, they'll be replaced. So this year, right now, in school, I have a list of assignments that can carry me through the entire school year. But then I'll do some trial and error. If I start a project and I don't feel like we're accomplishing maybe what the goal is, then I won't hesitate to just say, all right, guys, let's scrap this one. Let's try the next one. You know, just so that because I want the students to receive the experience, but I also want them to see some type of success as well. So during the exploration, of course.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anything you're particularly excited about that you're adding that you can talk about? I don't know. I don't mean to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Is your syllabus a secret?
No, the syllabus is not a secret. So
I guess I'm asking about your curriculum overall.
In general. Yeah. Well, first, let me say this because this is a different school year than I was prepared for, because we just implemented an 8th grade class last year where students can receive a high school credit. So it's sort of, I guess, the advanced level of art for middle school.
Oh, nice.
And it's just referred to as basic studio art. So it's the equivalent of a studio art that's available from 9th grade to 12th grade. Students are required to get 1 credit of art in their high school career. So essentially they can get that credit at the middle school level now. Last year, I didn't get to select the students that were participating in the program, but this year I put in a list of students that I would like if in the event that we were gonna, they can be afforded that schedule. And I ended up with 3 sections of the class. So I have a lot of students who are going to be receiving, and I say they're going to be receiving because I feel very comfortable that these students are going to work hard to get that credit. So it's going to be kind of cool. And I think these kids, majority of them are going to be interested in pursuing some type of art path throughout high school. So they'll be able to move on to like the advanced studio or drawing and painting classes for the high school.
Nice. So this is fantastic because it's not just that they're filling up a requirement, but they're essentially getting a head start in what would be a longer career, whether they become artists or not. Their interest in this. That's amazing.
Yes. And the only hesitation for that, I guess for some people are a little scared that maybe, let's say these students don't want to continue with art, then it lowers the enrollment of basic studio art or the art program at the high school level. But I don't think they should be concerned about that, because I really feel like the students that I'm going to be sending up after this school year, if I do my job correctly, they'll be interested in continuing art because they'll have that sincere interest in it, a genuine interest in it.
Especially since you sort of selected or tried to select some of them. So you already saw a spark in there.
Right.
So I think, I see the concern, but I don't think it should be your concern. Yeah. And I think it'll work out really well.
Yeah, I think the thing I want to implement this year as well is probably to try to do like some type of virtual field trip where the kids can maybe see what's happening in those advanced classes in high school, so then they can have a better idea of what their next class could possibly be.
Virtual, that sounds awesome. A virtual field trip. I've never heard of that, but that sounds fascinating. So how would that work? Like, how would a virtual field trip?
I just like Skype into the class of one of the high school teachers.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, maybe the teacher can walk around and, just show what the students are working on, or maybe some previous projects. And then, that way I don't have to leave the classroom, and I don't have to inconvenience them at all, because they can still continue to work while, my students just check to see what's going on over there.
Is this a big thing in academia right now? Because I'm kind of removed, but that sounds fascinating. And I think that's something that should be happening more, especially like for college. Like here, you can virtually sit in on a college class, for example.
Mm-hmm. So yes and no. The program I know that uses a lot of this type of video conferencing is Discovery Education. they do a lot of like science-based video things. So like last year we tuned into Discovery went to a farm, or they had a farm call-in, and everybody who worked on the farm, whatever their responsibility was, you know, they discussed that, and you sort of took a virtual field trip to this farm while you learned about agriculture in the United States. Wow. So that was pretty neat because they also were open to questions. So you can ask the questions while the tour is going on. Yeah, so that was pretty neat. I don't know to what extent it's happening everywhere else, but since I know of it and it's capable, you know, you can do it. There's really, at this point, I mean, there's no real limitations to what can be done with it. So it's pretty cool.
That's wild. So you're sort of pioneering this kind of, right?
Yeah, well, in the way I want to do it, yeah, I haven't seen anybody do it yet.
That's amazing. And imagine like years from now when VR maybe is around even better, you could just throw a headset on and just be like right there in the action of the, and let's throw in some robots too into the future, right? So you could be in the class and drawing with your synthetic robot and then also produce. Why go to school at all?
Then everybody, you don't even bring a backpack to school. You just have an external hard drive like that's on a harness. That's it.
Apparently, there's some virtual reality apps where you draw in 3D space.
Really?
So yeah,
I've seen those.
Yeah, so,
and they look wild.
Yeah, they say it's pretty. It's like mind blowing the first time you try it.
Zito, if you could imagine like spray painting in 3D, you know, so not just on a wall, but like actually sculpting with color and shape.
Right. Exactly.
Wait a minute, I tried an app like this not too long ago where it was a graffiti based application, but when you wrote, right, let's say I just wrote Crespo, and then I can rotate the word.
Yes.
And but this app came out like 3 years ago. That was pretty cool.
But this would be like if you wrote Crespo in the air and then you could walk around the Crespo and then like change the color of the back of the Crespo. And
but you have you have lenses on, right?
You have lenses and like sculpting tools and stuff.
Wow.
So I mean, you're in it, and you can save. I assume you could save the world that you're in, but right. No, it's wild. And actually, it made me feel inferior as an artist. I was like, oh, I don't know. I wouldn't know what I would do in the 3D space, which is weird because we live in a 3D space.
Huh. Yeah, it's interesting. And you've sculpted before as well.
Actually, you sculpt in 3D.
Right, but I think with the ease, you know, the ease of sculpting with spray paint-like ability, you know?
Yeah.
So the sculpting usually slower and more meticulous, where you can't really just form things and have them stay. But then with this, it's like, it's so fluid. It's too expansive for me right now. I need to kind of sit with it for a while.
Jose likes to suffer, that's why. And immediacy has nothing to do with suffering, so...
That's funny. That's funny you say that. I said today something about how they brought up the idea of like living in Hawaii and how that must be nice, but you kind of want to have some suffering to enjoy Hawaii. I feel like if you live there in paradise forever, a little bit. Yeah, I think so. So I'm a believer in suffering to a degree. Yeah. I think it helps. Yeah, I know.
I know it. Yo, actually, before we move on to anything else, I was listening to an interview, and I can't remember at the moment where that interview took place, but the question was, if you had to decide, it was on the Play Well podcast. If you had to decide between teleportation or what was the other one? Or time travel. Yeah, that question. Teleportation and time travel. Go ahead, Miguel. Which one?
I think there was a third choice. Teleportation, time travel. I think they have a third choice. I don't know, but I would
flying. Flying is usually the third choice.
I think it's flying. I think it is flying then.
Like superhero flight?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That doesn't sound like an invention, though.
I would do teleportation. I don't want to mess with time travel. I just finished playing this game, Quantum Break, which is all about that. And time travel pretty much destroys everybody's life in that game. So, and I think they do a really good job. I mean, I'm not a physicist or anything, but it's really interesting the way they portray it. But yeah, I think I do. I think growing up, I used to watch this thing on Nickelodeon called the Tomorrow People. Did you guys ever see that?
I know of it. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I think they remade it, but the original one back in the day was really cool. I remember like the one stipulation was you needed to have already visited a place in order to teleport there. So so even with that stipulation, I think that would be a really cool power. What about you guys?
Jose?
I think I have to go with a teleportation as well. I mean, flying is cool and all, but it seems like work, you know? Like, no matter how fast or far you can fly, it's still going to take a while. And we got planes where I could sit. Like, what do I want to fly everywhere? The teleportation's cool because you just be instantly in different places. I don't want to time travel because I feel like time is something we want to experience in itself. You don't want to mess with that, you know? So there's so much now to do that I don't think I need to mess around with like trying to go forward or backwards. And I feel like if I can teleport, I can do a lot more in the time that I'm allotted.
That's true.
Okay, I'm going to agree with you two as well. I'm going to teleport, and here's why. Yeah, I know that we didn't even conflict on this one. I think one of my shout out to Miguel's neighbor.
Shout out to my neighbor
for the shelving unit that's being put together for the past 6 hours.
I don't know what they're constructing. It's like Noah's Ark back there.
What if he's trapped in the wall? What if he's trapped like in the what if he's in upside down world and he's just trying to call to you to get him out and you're not listening?
Yo, put up some Christmas lights. Put up some Christmas lights.
I got them. Oh, I got lights right there.
If they start flickering, we know what happened. Okay, teleportation, because I think I have a daily gripe with traffic. And how about being able to how about being able to just do away with that thing and then then have to find something else to complain about?
Oh, there will always be something to complain about. I think. I was at Can I complain about something publicly? I was at Macy's yesterday.
Yeah.
Buying something like a pair of pants, and I waited forever. You know, because they have their stations, you know, their pay stations scattered about.
Right.
And I haven't been to Macy's in a while, but it's like a game. You're trying to figure out what station can I go to wait the least, and at some point you just give up. Especially later on in the day, and they're manned or womaned by one person, so then you're just stuck, and it's like being stuck at a toll where the truck is stuck. They have a problem, an issue, they got to get a manager, and you're just furious. I haven't felt that furious in so long.
Wow.
And it's just a difference between another store where you have a line of people and a line of registers, and you can kind of track your progress.
Right.
And stuff. The point of this was I had a gripe. That's it. Thanks for listening, guys.
That's good. That was a fair one. That was a fair one. All right, we're gonna transition to something completely different. We haven't had Miguel on for a bit, and Miguel seems to have been doing some major behind the scenes work for Jill Stein and the Green Party, and we'd love to know what's happening. I say major work because it's more than us. So.
Nothing major. A couple of weeks ago, I attended sort of like their first New York volunteer get together.
Okay.
And it was a bunch of people interested in helping out with the campaign. And from that, we split up into the different boroughs.
Mm-hmm.
And not I, but a lot of other people have been doing a lot of work to organize sort of the talents and the creativity of all the volunteers. And yeah, you see a lot of energy. I see a lot of energy. It's really exciting. And I think you'll start to see that moving forward. I actually just picked up a bunch of flyers and stuff. But yeah, it's really cool. Basically, everybody I've met has been super genuine. There's a lot of people from Bernie's campaign who've come over. Really upset with what's going on with, your bipartisan, system, and they want to see some real change. And it's an interesting dynamic because you have people who have been in the Green Party for a long time, right? Like decades. Some of these people,
right?
And it's an interesting dynamic to see how great and willing they are to work with absolutely new people, right? Like people that are just showing up on some, okay, this is kind of my second choice thing. And that's not everybody's outlook, but it certainly is for some, especially like Bernie supporters, right?
Right.
but everybody's getting along really well. There's some great synergy. Um, and yeah, it's really cool the way we're able to kind of like very democratically discuss issues and then get answers back, if not like directly from Jill, definitely from people who are like in her sort of in her close circle. Yes. Yeah. So it's really cool. It's an exciting time. And the campaign is definitely always looking for more volunteers. I would say within the last couple of weeks, it shot up like 300, 400%.
Wow.
Yeah. But the main focus right now for the campaign is to get Jill to be in the debates. Because I think if you see that, you'll see a real opportunity for people to listen to her and really understand what she's about, really understand her platform. Because people aren't really going to go to her website. You can go to her website and read her platform.
Mm-hmm.
It's right there. It isn't very long. It's succinct, it's to the point, and you can do that. But people aren't really going to do that. So to have her on a debate stage and kind of battle out some of these ideas, I think that's the only real way. The campaign thinks that's the only real way they'll get sort of the movement that they need. So just one last thing on it, not to bore you guys to death, but if you're interested, you can go to jill2016.com, and then there's like there's a link for
the debate, right?
Right, to like there's a petition. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. A petition to get her on the debate. So you can sign that. And you can also sign up to volunteer if you're interested.
Perfect.
So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's something that we had actually discussed in the past. In one of the previous podcasts about if we wanted to know more about these candidates, that we would probably need to see them on that debate stage to get a different feel.
Absolutely.
Because the individual interviews are somewhat informative,
right?
But you want to see how they go up against their opponents.
Absolutely.
And it would also legitimize her as a real opponent, right?
Yeah.
Because for the majority of America, they see her as this fringe candidate. She doesn't have a chance. So to have her in the same stage,
right,
sort of like in the eyes of voters, be like, okay, there's a shot, there's a chance.
Right.
She's in the same race.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I think that would be super important. Another thing too is I think historically the Green Party hasn't been you haven't been able to vote for every state.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't been able to vote for the Green Party candidate in every state, but I think they're at the last I checked was like 40 something, and they have they're still petitioning in some states, and there's some states where you have to write in her name, but you can vote for her, but you have to write it in.
Okay.
So we'll put out material on that and stuff. But yeah, that's it's really incredible to see that.
Let's be a little selfish here. What's the status of New York?
Her name will be on the ballot.
Okay, look at that.
Hey,
we're all New Yorkers here.
That the petition, when you sent it over to me, and I went on the link, she had sufficient. It looks like she had enough to get the petition filled. I mean,
it's almost there. It's like 90. Yeah. I think the last time I checked was about 92,000.
Yeah, it's like not missing much.
Yeah, so I think, I mean, it's 100,000 that she's looking for. I don't know if that's going to necessarily translate into automatically she gets into debates.
No, but the petition is there. The support is there.
Right, absolutely. So,
gentlemen, I think I have to jump off soon because my battery's dying.
No.
We're happy that you were able to join us, brother.
Yeah, man, I'm so glad. It was so good seeing you guys. I have one question.
Oh,
okay.
I saw something going around about Hillary's health.
Yeah.
And how that's been in question. I don't know if you guys have any further insight, or if this is just in the realm of kind of speculation or conspiracy theory.
I think it's mostly in speculation. I've seen a photo where, and this could be anything, but it looks like they show like somebody with a catheter or a model of how a catheter kind of like sits on a leg,
right?
The tubing, and then they show like a picture of her on stage, and then there's like, you can see there's like tubes in her pants. There's like a tube.
It's wild. It's just wild, like the state of our candidates and who they are. I mean, nothing wrong. Like, if someone has a health issue, I don't think that bars you from being president.
No, maybe, but you should be transparent about it.
Exactly, right. Yeah. Whatever's going on.
Right.
It's crazy. I came back to America and I'm like, oh my God, this is still going on. That's my immediate feeling.
I don't know anything about it. I'll be completely honest with you guys. I have not turned on MSNBC in probably a couple weeks, man. I have I've been out of it, man. I've been filling my time with information about education or pop culture stuff. Like if something fun. I'm not. The politics stuff kind of lost me for a while, and I'll step back for a little bit. I'll get back into it in the fall, I guess.
Mm-hmm. It's the fall. It's almost there. A few more days. Gentlemen, it's a pleasure being here with you guys. I look forward to seeing the rest of the show.
All right, brother.
Stay powerful. It's good seeing you guys. Thanks, guys.
Take care. Later, brother.
All right.
So
the night of, and then.
Well, hold on. Before we go to the night of, you want to just give me a little something about that? Even the Rain.
Oh, Even the Rain. Okay, so Even the Rain is a. It's not a documentary, actually. It's a feature film. There's so basically the premise is a couple of young filmmakers want to make a movie about Christopher Columbus, and basically chronicling the story of Christopher Columbus, right, and highlighting what's important. And so instead of going to the Caribbean, they go to Bolivia and they hire indigenous people to play the role of Taínos. So what the film does really well is it parallels sort of the injustices of what happened during that time of Columbus with the Taíno people, and it parallels that with what's going on with the Bolivian people, with Bolivian indigenous people as they're filming it. So the people who are hired to be on set and be, the actors and extras to play the role of Taínos, they're actually in the movie. They're involved in the struggle for water rights issues. So apparently, there's like a water company that charges like exorbitant amounts of money for access to fresh water, and so to see that, so there's like the struggle, and there's a lot of there's protests, and they turn into riots, and you see very militarized police oppress people, and you kind of see it's just so expertly intertwined with how they set up a scene where something that's going on in the film, and then how like real life is kind of creeping into it. So it's really interesting. You'll see some familiar faces. I think it's a really, really well done film, excellently cast.
And where did you see it?
I saw it on Netflix.
Okay,
Netflix. Yeah. So
really cool. Whoever is listening, be sure to check that out. I definitely have to check it out. Gahad already told me about it, and at the moment, I just wasn't ready to watch it, but I will definitely be checking it out.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a lot. It's a lot.
It sounds like a little bit of an emotional roller coaster. So
absolutely, yeah.
As of and that's what we've been doing, right? I guess we've been watching those films, or we've been going through those things. Those things are happening, and for not for whatever reason, but I guess this moment in our lives has got us real in tune with those things.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So something a little bit more entertaining. The night of, we both finished that series. That series finished. We watched the finale. Interesting show. So they had a little bit of the law, the justice system, a little bit of racism in America.
Mm-hmm.
I know classism was in there.
Mm-hmm.
What else did they tackle?
Yeah, I think what they do a really good job of tackling as a whole is how the the uh, the criminal justice system um, will sort of turn an innocent young person, all kind of
Mm.
like fan theories aside, how it will like turn an innocent person into um, a very, how do I put it? Uh, like somebody who feels very trapped, somebody who, right? And like, it's very like, I don't know. How do you like somebody who's been in prison? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess a criminal for no other, when you think about somebody who's been in prison, who's been locked up, who's been denied, basic freedoms, who has to look over their shoulder constantly, who's afraid of their, life being, taken from them. It's so much stress that it kind of shows you as you go through the show. You see him turning from somebody who's kind of very innocent and maybe gullible, maybe a little bit naive, maybe not necessarily. But at the end, he's, stone cold. He's hard. He's, you know what I mean? He's stoic
broken.
almost. Yeah, he's broken. Yeah, I guess that's a real. And
he's definitely broken. So there was that. If we're talking about the innocent until proven guilty, that didn't exist in the show.
No, not at all.
That's not where it went. It was guilty. It was guilty and continued to be proven guilty.
Right.
That was the goal. It seemed as for that show.
Mm-hmm.
His transition, like of what he became, was scary. It was scary the way they wrote his character to go from somebody who was just headstrong, education was his central focus,
right,
to somebody who you're just like, oh wow, his future doesn't look as bright as maybe it did 7 episodes ago.
Right.
When he was a tutor,
Mm-hmm.
he was trying to get everybody else to take advantage of their educational opportunities.
Right.
This is just small. Did you notice that Donovan was in the
I did.
Was it 6?
I did. Yeah.
6, right? Yo,
I did. Out, yeah, that was really cool.
Shout out to Donovan, man. He's doing some great things. He was in the Get Down on Netflix. I don't know.
Oh, he's in the Get Down also?
Wow. Yeah, man. He's got a pretty important role in that show. So I didn't know he was in it. I was watching the show. Same thing happened.
Nice.
We were looking at the screen and I'm like, no way. No way. So I'm happy for him, man. Seeing him on commercials, seeing him on shows, movies. This is great.
Absolutely. We should actually have him on the show.
I think so. I think we should reach out to him, and I'm sure he'd be willing to do it if he isn't too preoccupied.
Yeah.
Well, we'll reach out to him, see what he says. Yeah, that would be good, man. So you like the show? Would you recommend it, The Night of?
Yeah, I definitely recommend it. Really powerful. The main character Nas, sort of the way he transforms, is definitely still kind of like resonating with me. The way they were able to kind of like subtly do that, to the point where at the end, towards the last few episodes, you're kind of asking yourself like, wait, is this guy innocent?
Yeah.
So yeah, and you mentioned something earlier that you're not sure. So
are we throwing spoilers out there? Did we already cross that line? I don't know.
I feel like all right, let's not do it because it's only been like a few weeks, right?
Yeah, maybe we'll revisit this. But yeah, we'll revisit this. That's okay. What was I gonna say? I think there was something else I wanted to mention about that show. The casting. Oh, great casting.
Casting is great.
Yeah, everybody worked so well. They meshed so well together. Even his mom was silent, and in her silence, she was powerful.
Right.
Yeah, that was good.
I would say a lot of movies use silence as sort of like you're supposed to get how the character's feeling through that silence, and I would say a lot of movies miss the mark, or just TV shows or whatever whatever you're talking about. But I think they did a really good job with her character and just not talking. Yeah.
Yeah, her and 11 on Stranger Things.
11, yes. Yeah. Sure.
That was both. Those were both done pretty well. Yes. All right. So I brought up 11. that'll transition me into this next thing. I saw a trailer. I saw a trailer for a movie called A Monster Calls. I didn't realize it was an actual. It was a book. So as soon as I saw the trailer, I started looking to see if my local Barnes and Nobles carried it. I went over there, got it, and it's been a pretty entertaining read. It's a young adult book, but it has some illustrations in it. And in the trailer, the monster sort of looks like Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy. Same kind of idea.
Tree Man,
but bigger. Yeah.
Oh, bigger. Okay.
But much bigger.
So we're talking about like Tolkien, like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Tree people. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're both.
So I've been reading the book because I want the trailer interests me enough where I wanted to I want to get behind this thing. So I was like, cool. This kid, it's a young man. He's going through young man problems. In addition, he's getting bullied. His mom is going through chemotherapy. His father has a new family in the United States. The book setting is in England. Okay. And his grandmother is attempting to become his new guardian.
Right.
But he's not ready for any of those things. So and it's still not clear like whether this monster exists or it is just his mind handling these situations. But the monster is trying to aid him in all of these things.
Mm. Is he the only person that
sees it?
Engages? Yeah.
Yeah, but it usually only comes around when he's alone.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm almost done with the book now. I'm gonna try to wrap that up either today or tomorrow. Cool. So I'll have a better idea of what's gonna happen. But yeah, the trailer looks pretty good. The movie looks like it's gonna be a really entertaining one and probably one of the sci-fi movies that allow you to think, about what we rely on to find some type of closure or sanity. Well, we'll see what happens with that movie.
Cool. I'll look into it.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty fun. In other movies, I saw Suicide Squad and Ghostbusters. I'll speak for Ghostbusters. I think that movie, I'm ready to put that movie in my Halloween rotation. I think they did a very good I think they did a great job. I'm not sure where all that I guess I know where all that criticism comes. You don't want to take an all boys club and transform it into a film that now has women as the stars.
Right.
Because you feel like you're losing something, but they didn't.
What do you lose? You don't lose. You're gaining a whole other, perspective. I don't understand.
It was fantastic, man. Yo, if I had let's say I was a father of a young girl that was interested in sciences or paranormal activity, whatever. Right. What an awesome movie for them to feel like, hey, look how cool this is.
Right. We could do that.
And even a young man, that's just it's just good comedy. Yeah, they did good comedy, good story. Some of the monsters were pretty creepy compared to the old Ghostbusters. Yeah, a Slimer and a Puff, and the Slimer is different. Yes, in that he's not like a friendly ghost.
Oh no! Oh wow. Okay.
And it was pretty cool. So I thought the movie was good. And I saw Suicide Squad. You didn't watch that, right?
No, I haven't been to the movies in a bit.
So that one got slammed too. And I understood. Yeah, I still understood those criticisms. But
hey, DC is doing this thing where they release a movie, it gets terrible reviews, then they come out with a director's cut, and then it's like it's actually a way better movie. Why do they keep doing that? Why don't they just release the director's cut?
That director's cut is probably a rated R film, and I think they're scared to venture into that. DC is dark. I think they've just been they've been trying to avoid what to that like Batman movies. Those things are creepy, man. Like the villains are really pure villains.
Yeah.
And I think they've just been like trying to avoid going over that line. Suicide Squad. It's a group of that were hired to be assassins.
Mm-hmm.
That's killer stuff. That's not saving the world. That's like
Mhm.
Yeah, that's killer stuff. Even the person who hired them is like, if you don't do what I asked you to do, I'm gonna kill you.
Right. That's kind of like Shield though, but they're considered heroes.
Yeah. Right.
I guess they're not murdering innocent people though. They're fighting each other. Or
Yeah.
like aliens.
Yeah, and they're trying to keep everything under wraps and suppress things, and
Yeah.
it's a little bit
Suicide
different.
Squad, are they going out and like just killing people?
I
don't know anything about the comic or.
Is that this lady? Okay, so this lady Amanda Waller wants asked the government permission to assemble a team of this Suicide Squad idea to combat these people who are coming in with supernatural abilities, right? So she's saying if in the future people like Superman are going to
Batman too, right? Batman's part of this issue.
Not necessarily. Wait, let me just explain this part first. So if people like Superman and Wonder Woman are going to walk this earth amongst us, then we also need the capabilities to combat them. So they assemble a team where they're not losing what they consider just regular American citizens. They'll lose people who they consider
criminals,
are
lost cases.
Yeah, a lot of cases, anyways. Yeah. So that's the whole concept. They just actually DC started a new line of comics called Rebirth, and they're basically starting everybody's story like new, and they started a new Suicide Squad series based on these particular characters, because in previous comics some of the characters can be replaced. So like Aquaman's arch nemesis is Black Manta. I've seen him in Suicide Squad before. So yeah, that's it. That movie was okay. The movie was okay. I kind of enjoyed it. Jared Leto as Joker seems to be a real big problem.
I heard that.
I don't know that he nailed. I don't know that he nailed the specific Joker that he's going for, or that the writer is going for, because as you watch the movie, it's not enough of him, and nor should it have been, because it's not his movie.
I heard it's like what, maybe 5 minutes of him
in total. Yeah, something like that.
Wow.
But it doesn't look like a controlled Joker, like as far as acting goes. It seems like there's different interpretations, so it's not like a solid one where you could go, oh yeah, that reminds me of Leto's Joker. Like that doesn't. Wow. There's not that yet. So but he's saying that there was a lot of his character, or a lot of his recordings were cut, and he has no interest in letting those out now, because that happened behind his back. Like he didn't know that they were going to cut so much of his rollout.
Wow.
So who knows what's going to happen, or what we're going to be missing, if that never comes out.
Yeah, I really liked Christopher Nolan's Batman, and I really like who did Batman? Was that Superman? Was Man of Steel? Was it Zack Snyder?
Yeah.
I really like his Superman.
Okay.
And I would have loved to see those two come together, but it seems like they're trying to reinvent. Nothing against Ben Affleck or whatever, but like they're trying to. And I haven't seen Batman vs Superman, but it seems like they're trying to go maybe a little too far over the edge in terms of like. I'm only basing this off like trailers or like clips I've seen, but.
Far over the edge, and what?
Well, like this new Batman he's from what I hear, he's like actually shooting people, murdering people in Batman vs Superman. Like that's an issue.
All right, so are you familiar with the Dark Knight comics? When he's an older,
not as comics, no.
Okay, so if you're ever interested in reading those, I think you should, because I think those are really good. Because otherwise Bruce Wayne has been a young man our entire lives, as well as our father's entire lives. But yeah, it shows a darker side of him where he's fed up. So
wasn't Christopher Nolan's Batman based off of a Dark Knight Batman?
No, because they named it that, right?
Right.
It's kind of weird, but no, it wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't. He should really be an old man, so Ben Affleck doesn't look like a terrible, like an elderly man. But he definitely looks like an aged Bruce Wayne.
Older.
Okay. So yeah, he's at a point of his vigilante career where his tactics just aren't working. So he needs to find, alternative methods of handling these villains. And in this case, Superman was considered a villain. Yeah. That's it, man. That's what I got.
I guess I have to see it before I really make any
yeah, you should watch it, man.
I just haven't been, I don't know, it hasn't really caught my eye, but I'll definitely watch it if it's like on the plane or something. On Netflix or something.
Are you a Star Wars fan?
I am, yeah.
Oh, so are you looking forward to Rogue One?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
That looks really cool.
You saw the trailer that they showed Vader at the end?
No, I haven't seen the most recent trailer. I'm actually gonna go watch that now because I've been meaning to. Yeah.
It doesn't show much, but it lets us know that Vader's in here. Yeah.
Wow,
which is
dope.
That's exciting.
That is exciting.
Yeah. That's gonna be pretty cool.
I was already excited from the first trailer that they dropped.
Yeah, me too. I like the new droid, actually.
Oh yes, it reminds me
huge
of
intimidating. Yeah.
Did you ever play Knights of the Old Republic?
No, I never played it.
Okay, it's from the studio that did Mass Effect.
Okay.
But it was like their first kind of well, I don't know if it was their first, but it was definitely the first big one.
Okay.
And they have it's basically Star Wars. I want to say like a few hundred years or 1,000 years before the Phantom Menace, like so before this time period, and but there's still droids and stuff. It just everything looks a little bit more antique.
Okay.
And there's this droid there that you meet in the game. He's really he's like a fan favorite type person. He's really cool. So yeah, he kind of reminds me of him, and as far as his build, like in terms of like the way he's built. Yeah, but it's cool. Yeah, he looks cool. There's so many characters too.
It's a ton. I don't even know. Like, I look forward to it as well. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a good one to watch. Sure. And I'm sure Jose is looking forward to it because they're clearly a fan because his wife had R2D2 heels on at the wedding. So.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah, so they're definitely about it.
Dope.
That's it for me, brother.
Cool. Yeah, man, this is a good one.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. We'll be back again next week. If you have any recommendations for us or want to leave any suggestions, feel free to drop them on YouTube or reach out to us on Facebook, the Super Bros Podcast. All right, guys, take care.
Lady up.